The Morning Roast is live on YouTube right now. Take it away, Bonte.
We'll see Steph Curry later on tonight against the Boston Celtics on the parquet floor. Of course, this game for one of his more iconic moments in his career, 14-year career, of course, where he dropped 43 points and the Warriors win their fourth championship in 8 years. We'll go to TD Garden. TD Garden. Still no Kuminga, still no JaMychal Green, still no James Wiseman, and I believe Iguodala's out tonight as well. Klay Thompson is in the lineup. Draymond Green, Stephen Curry. TNT. But you can watch us on NBC Sports Bay Area for the pre- and post-game show. It'll be a Warriors live edition, 3:30. We'll have things cracking on NBC Sports Bay Area.
I think there's only been a couple of ESPN and TNT games because they've blacked out a bunch.
Yeah.
Like a bunch.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I mean...
Well, I stay on NBC, but like when I maybe there's multiple sports or things happening. No, I'm telling you
seriously. It's like sometimes they show the games on both channels, and then sometimes they black it out. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. That's all I was going to ask you. Like, what are the restrictions on that?
I don't get it. Maybe NBC fights for sole rights or so But tonight's game is strictly on TNT.
Yeah.
So there'd be no Fitz and Buki. We don't get Fitz and Buki until tomorrow.
Darn.
So they'll be in Cleveland getting ready to rock and roll. But I'm sure they'll be at TD Garden. I'm sure they have fun at the White House. I told you no guru drops, Spinoni. You slipped up, dude.
I know.
You're a double agent.
He's over there.
He tried to get sneaky with that one there. I thought he had it.
Cowboy Niner Week, and those two are arguing about power ranking of hosts and their ego. I mean, get out of here.
They didn't even mention me. Crazy.
Drew Pearson, 8 o'clock today. Drew Pearson, 8 o'clock.
I love when people don't have the right
app.
content.
It's 95.7 The Game, thousands of other stations, and millions of podcasts are free on the Odyssey app. Sports talk, music, news, and podcasts are all available completely free. You can catch every single Warriors game live on the app, along with all the music and news the Bay Area needs. Follow your favorite team stations, radio shows, and podcasts now by downloading the free Odyssey app. And maybe Dynasty's too strong of a word.
Well,
I get what people are saying. Like, you got to win at least one before you even begin the Dynasty talks. But this run that the Niners are on, 3 and 4 years you've been in the playoffs. 2 of those years you've won a division championship. We've got two teams that have been good simultaneously here in the Golden State Warriors and the 49ers. Now, the big one is the Warriors have that Larry O'Brien.
Yeah.
The Niners don't have that Lombardi.
So I guess then let's go with just the teams that have won championships in recent memory. Did you know the Giants thing was over after 2014? Even though I don't think it was, because they went to the playoffs in 2016. I still felt like they had chances.
2016, I was like, okay, they still got it.
They need a closer.
And then they need a closer, and they splurged on a closer, and it didn't work out. And the bottom fell out. And we should have saw.
But did you know, like 2017, 2018, it was officially over?
It felt like it was officially over. I didn't think so, but
I held out hope.
I had a little hope. However, remember I was at that other station. I ran a lot of those games on a weekend. The writing was kind of on the wall, not to quote Draymond Green, but 2016, that second half of the season, they were one of the worst teams in baseball.
But then they went toe-to-toe with the World Series champs. They went toe-to-toe with the Cubs. And they should have beat them. But my point being
at least forced a game 5.
It feels like, okay, now let's go to the 49ers, right? Like in 96, 97, 98. Did people think that was the end? Like they weren't going to see another run after that? I think a lot of people still held out hope. They're like, no, this is going to keep going. What are you talking about?
We thought it was over when Steve Young was laying on that field at Sun Devil Stadium Monday Night Football.
Yes.
And then it was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, it's
the
over.
Niners are bad.
Yeah.
And for you and I, that was the first time we really experienced the Niners being bad.
Absolutely.
Because the one year they didn't make the playoffs, they were 10-6 in 91.
With 3 different quarterbacks.
Right.
Yeah.
With Bill Musgrave, Steve Bono, and Steve Young. So all of a sudden it's like, damn, all right, it's over. The Niners are bad for the first time in a long time. It's like, what is this? I didn't know how to handle that. The Warriors, they still have Stephen Curry.
I know.
Still have Klay Thompson. Still got Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. You got Kevon Looney and Draymond Green playing at a high level. And you got these young guys that you're trying to figure out. So it doesn't feel like their run is quite over yet.
I agree with that.
We have to see it. They haven't lost the Western Conference Series under Steve Kerr.
But if I was playing the other side of the fence and the devil's advocate, and I said to you, Bonte, they are never going to get back to an NBA Finals, would you really be that surprised?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. No, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, they've had a great run, and I'm not trying to knock them. What I'm trying to say is
I wouldn't be surprised. However, it will be shocking to see them lose in the Western Conference playoffs when they haven't done it yet.
Okay. I thought it was shocking that they won it all last year. You know, the way and things shook out in their direction.
Well, you think about the way it's set up, right? They went into the playoffs with a bunch of unknowns.
Well, they hadn't even played their best 3 players or their most accomplished 3 players on the court together for more than a game.
We didn't know about Stephen Curry's foot. We didn't know if Jordan Poole could adjust it going back to the bench. We didn't know if he was going to start. We didn't know how Klay Thompson was going to hold up. Draymond Green's back. Is he going to last during the playoff run? We have no idea. We had no idea. So it was a remarkable run. But at the same time, you're like, man, if they get back to the playoffs, we haven't seen them lose to a Western Conference team since 2014.
I mean, like using this, yes, you're right. Using this same kind of algorithm that we're going on, the Harbaugh year, once they went 8-8, did it feel over? Before he even actually was officially parted ways with.
To me, the Harbaugh era felt over when they lost to Seattle in the NFC Championship game. I felt like when they were 7-4 at Thanksgiving, to me, it was fool's gold.
Okay.
Because you had all the rumors circulating. You had, where was Kaepernick at? Where's Crabtree at? He seems to be unhappy. You bring back Brandon Lloyd. You basically have the same set of wide receivers. Jonathan Martin's playing right tackle. To me, when they lost to Seattle in real time, I felt like it was over.
Well, when Bowman doesn't play the entire year, Willis is deactivated, and he's going to call it quits. It just that whole thing came crashing to an end. It felt abrupt though. It did.
Right.
Be like, even though yes, you might have felt it, it was very abrupt. The point that I'm going at is like with the Warriors and we look at the Niners. When it's your time, it's your time. And when it's over, sometimes we as a fan base are in denial that it's over.
And you hold on too long.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if we're there yet with the Golden State Warriors, but, I mean, didn't it feel like Tom Brady, like, they should have held on a little longer, like New England and Tom Brady?
But it looked so bad that last year.
That's what I'm saying.
It looked so bad, and you don't know if Tom Brady comes back and they do anything.
Well, and I look at
it. It just felt like everybody needed to change the scenery at that point.
That's a good way of putting it. But I look at that now and I'm like, oh yeah, it was clearly over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like from New England's roster standpoint.
Right, no doubt.
Right now I look at the Niners and anything could happen in every offseason. One injury could change everything.
And again, I'll take back the dynasty word. You can't use the dynasty word unless you win 2 championships. But it feels like if they don't strike gold now, this is their best shot with this core to strike gold. Because we don't know how long these windows are open in professional sports, but especially in the NFL.
Yeah.
Especially in the NFL. Think about last year's, you think about the Rams. How quickly things flip for them.
Bonte, Cam Newton went from being the best player in the NFL to garbage overnight.
Carolina, Super Bowl 50, never even gets close.
I mean, their defense was as locked down as you could find.
Didn't get close.
Right? You know, look at the Denver Broncos. Like it came crashing to an end with them. They had a 4 or 5 year run there. Yep. Once Peyton signed there, they were amazing. And ironically, the worst year that he had in Denver was the year they ended up winning it all when he got replaced halfway through the season and then got the job back. So I just look at it right now with the Niners. It feels like it's their time. But that being said, because it's a rookie quarterback and because of the way the NFL works, you could have everything going in your direction. And something crazy can happen, and the margins are so thin. A couple of mistakes in the first half, you get behind the 8 ball, and now you're chasing. You know?
Yep.
I thought it was their time last year in LA. They were up 10 points in the fourth quarter.
And you had a great run from Deebo Samuel. Now you come to this season, the Deebo's been in and out of the lineup. We know that's what Deebo Samuel's going to be. He's going to be in and out of the lineup. He's a physical runner. He loves contact. Hamstrings, knees. He's just things are going to happen with Deebo Samuel. I don't think we're going to I'd be surprised if he ever played a full season of football ever again. I'd be surprised. Misses a game or two. They play it safe with them knowing it's a 17-game schedule. I would find it. I'd be surprised if he ever played a full season. Just like George Kittle. George Kittle didn't play a full season this year. He started the year with a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
So you don't know how these guys are going to hold up. Especially in, with the 17-game schedule and the extra week of playoffs now. Only one team gets a bye week, which is absurd. I don't agree with that whatsoever.
Well, and McCaffrey hasn't had a bye week all year, which is crazy.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Did he have the bye week with the Niners? No, he was here with the Niners when they had the bye week.
You sure?
Yeah, that was the week. So they beat the Rams before the bye week, Operation 4-4.
He got acquired, but didn't he get acquired the week of the Kansas City?
Yeah, but they had the bye week after. They had the bye week after the Rams game. They played KC, then they went down to SoFi
okay,
Stadium.
For some reason, I didn't think he had a bye week.
So remember, it was all about Operation 4-4 before the bye week.
Right.
So they get the 4-4.
Yeah, that's right.
They beat the Rams at SoFi Stadium. Boom, they get a bye week. Emmanuel Sanders a couple years ago didn't have. He didn't have a bye week when he got traded over from Denver. So it just feels like this is a great opportunity for them to cash in just to get that one. Because that's the hardest one to get.
Well, and I would look at it, and I think an argument can be made this is their best team. Quarterback, however you feel, you think he's an upgrade and whatever, forget that for a second. I would say he is an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo in certain areas. But I think the roster as a whole, this is their best roster. Simultaneously, I've heard all this strength of schedule talk.
Right.
To me, this is the healthiest the roster can get at this late in the season. I mean, think about all the injuries they've had over the years. You referenced Weston Richburg yesterday, Ponte. Weston Richburg's injury, most casual fans would have, like, what? The center, huh? That crippled them in the second half against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chris Jones, right up the middle, interior pass rush.
I mean, when Kansas City lost their 2 tackles in that Super Bowl, that crippled them against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Their entire season was over. They're one of the most potent teams we've ever seen.
Well, look at Tampa Bay this year. Their offensive line crumbled before the season started.
Exactly. And I'm looking at Jalen Hurts right now. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo came into the playoffs last year with shoulder and finger injuries, right? This year, I know Brock had the small oblique injury, but feels like he's pretty damn healthy. Jalen Hurts is the one that's hurting. So, like, they're healthy at the right time with the most loaded roster that they have. And I would argue, even more than the Rams, this is the most balanced team they've played. I don't know if their talent is as good as the Rams.
Dallas.
Because I don't want to sleep on the Rams. I want to give them their appropriate due. I think that Cowboys are more balanced.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even though Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, but I believe in Pollard so much.
Pollard is really
Pollard
good. Yeah, Pollard is really good, but they want to throw the ball with him. We'll see how Pollard holds up running up the middle.